Hello everyone. Welcome back to the next training session of SHL's technical support team. Today's content we want to introduce to everyone about engine oil. The presentation consists of the following parts. The first, about role of engine oil. The second is components of engine oil. The third is performance rating of engine oil. And the last part is automotive gear oil. First, let's learn about role of engine oil. One of the main functions of engine oil is to lubricate the contact and moving parts of the engine, which means minimizing friction and wear on these parts to maintain performance and prolong the life of the engine. To provide oil for the engine to operate, the engine lubrication system was born, and this is a system that is required to operate stably throughout the engine's operation. This is an illustration of the engine lubrication system. The lubrication system is responsible for providing clean oil with appropriate flow, pressure and temperature to each part of the engine that needs to be lubricated. Engine oil is a mixture of base oil, mineral base oil or synthetic base oil, and additives used to lubricate the engines of trucks, automobile engines, ships. The working principle of mechanical oil is to create a thin lubricating film between metal surfaces sliding or rolling against each other. This film reduces friction and wear. It also helps to reduce the accumulation of sludge and deposits in the engine system during operation. About role of engine oil. Friction reducing function. The life of the machine can be prolonged by friction reduction. Cooling action. It absorbs frictional heat and performs a cooling function to dissipate heat to other places. Sealing function. The oil of the engine forms the oil film around the piston and blocks the high-pressure explosion gas from leaking. Rust-proofing function. It prevents oxygen and external moisture from working and corrosion. Cleaning function. It serves to wash away foreign substances on the friction surface. About components of engine oil. The composition of lubricants consists of two main components: base oil, from 75 to 99.5%, and additives, from 0.5 to 25%, thereby creating commercial lubricants running in today's car engines. Additives are added for the purpose of helping commercial lubricants have properties consistent with international general standards, car manufacturers' own standards, that the base oil does not have. In engine oil, the additive used is a packaging additive consisting of the following components: detergent and dispersant, anti-wear, antioxidant, rust inhibitor, friction modifier, pour point depressant. Some current international lubricant quality assessment standards such as SAE, API, ASEAN, ILSAC, JSO. The specifications are upgraded every 2 to 3 years depending on the performance of the vehicle and environmental regulations. Next, I would like to introduce API and SAE standards. American Petroleum Institute, API, and Society of Automotive Engineers, SAE, has established a performance classification system for motor oils. First, we learn about API standards. The API classification system of engine oil is for North American engines but is recognized and applied in many countries around the world. Engine oil classification system with two large types S and C with different levels for each type. API performance grades for gasoline engine oils are designated API SX, in which X is a letter in the ABC alphabet and represents the quality level of the oil. The later its position in the alphabet means the higher the performance level. Currently, the top level is API SP. Common quality levels for gasoline-powered vehicles are SJ, SL, SM, sulfur mononitride. API performance levels for gasoline engine oils are designated API CX2 or API CX4, where X is a letter in the ABC alphabet and represents increasing performance levels. Numbers 2 and 4 mean 2-stroke and 4-stroke engines. Common quality levels for current diesel vehicles are CH4, CI4, CJ4, CK4. Next, we learn about standard. Society of Automotive Engineers SAE. This organization uses viscosity grades to evaluate and classify lubricating oils. Accordingly, lubricants are divided into two main types: mono-grade viscosity oils and multi-grade viscosity oils. Single viscosity oil. Mono-grade viscosity oils are engine oil products with low temperature viscosity or high temperature viscosity properties such as say 10W, say 20, say 30 and so on. It is mainly used in areas where there is little outside temperature change, hot or cold. The multi-grade viscosity oils is a product with two numerical grades displayed simultaneously such as say 5W30, say 10W40. For example, the say 15W40 product meets the low temperature viscosity characteristics of say 15W and the say 40 high temperature viscosity characteristics. The multi-grade viscous oil is excellent in economical efficiency because it has excellent viscosity drop at high temperature and has high fluidity at low temperature, so it has an effect of improving fuel efficiency. Low temperature viscosity, related to initial engine startability. The lower the value, the shorter the time the oil reaches the engine as a whole. High temperature viscosity, the output of the car, fuel economy. The higher the number, the better the viscosity at high power but the higher the fuel consumption rate. These are some of our SHL engine oil product lines. Finally, let's learn about automotive gear oil. Automotive gear is an intermediate part between the engine and the wheels used to change the transmission ratio and torque on the active wheels of the vehicle, helping to increase or decrease the running speed in accordance with external resistance. Next, I would like to introduce two types of automotive gear: manual transmission and automatic transmission. A manual transmission is a device that changes the speed and torque of a vehicle by adjusting the number of revolutions generated in the engine. If the gear shift position is changed as shown in the figure below, the gear ratio will be changed so that the speed can be adjusted even with the same engine speed. When the gearbox of the manual transmission is disassembled, it is composed of gears of various sizes as shown in the figure. A manual transmission oil will lubricate gears and bearings inside the gearbox. Automatic transmission is a type of car transmission with a rather complex structure, which can automatically change the gear ratio by using an internal planetary gear instead of a conventional mechanical gear. Automatic transmission fluids, ATF, is the fluid used in vehicles with self-shifting or automatic transmissions. Next we will learn about the role of automotive gear oil. As everyone knows, automotive gear is an important part that directly affects the vehicle's performance. Therefore, to ensure smooth and efficient operation, car owners need to regularly check and change the automotive gear oil. Automotive gear oil is a type of lubricating oil that lubricates, friction-reducing function, rust-proofing function, cooling action, helping the gears inside the transmission to operate smoothly. Particularly for automatic transmission cars, the transmission oil is also involved in the operation of the hydraulic clutch. ATF serves many purposes in transmission, such as heat dissipation, wear protection, lubrication, foam inhibition, shift quality, power transmission, hydraulic action. After a period of time, due to working in harsh conditions and high temperatures, the oil molecules are easily broken, the oil is oxidized, the oil quality is no longer the same, the lubricating ability and reduced cooling. If this situation is not resolved soon, it will affect the overall operation of the gearbox, causing damage and reducing the life of the components inside the gearbox. Each type of gearbox will have different oil change times. There is currently no exact timeline for when to change car transmission oil. Each car manufacturer will usually have its own recommendations written in the vehicle owner's manual. Next, I would like to introduce API and SAE standards for automotive gear oils. First we learn about SAE standards. Viscosity classifications for automotive gear oils are based on the viscosity classifications specified by the Society of Automotive Engineers, SAE, the same as for engine oils. Like engine oil, automotive gear oil is also divided into two types according to the SAE viscosity grade, single grade and multi-grade. The specification at low temperature is indicated before W like engine oil, and the characteristic at high temperature is indicated after W. The viscosity classifications of gear oils currently sold in the market are 75W85, 75W90, 80W90 and 85W140. Next we will learn about API standards. There are two kinds of performance classification of gear oil defined by the API as follows: API GL4 and API GL5. The biggest difference between the two performances is load-bearing capacity. GL4 gear oils are typically recommended for spur and helical gears found in manual transmissions and transaxles operating under moderate speeds and loads. GL5 gear oils are typically recommended for hypoid gears in automotive axles operating under high-speed, high-load conditions. Above is the entire content about the engine oil. Thank you everyone for listening. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact the technical support team via the email below. Goodbye and see you again.